You go.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, October 4th, 2022. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, who looks like he's in an undisclosed location right now, I'm Ben Dryden, and of course you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business, so give them a call today. That's actually Brian's phone number right there. You can call him, 715-520-2271. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. Positive Tuesday is also brought to you in part by the Wisconsin Lakes team. It's still a great time to buy or sell a home, and when you do, we recommend our friends from the Wisconsin Lakes team. Anyone can say that they're an agent, but not everyone treats their clients as they would like to be treated, and that's what Aaron and Katie do. You find out more by visiting them at thelakesteamwi.com. Also supporting the show are our friends at Industrial Safety. We all know that Industrial Safety sells and services practically everything that goes into a fire station and on a firefighter, but they also provide kitchen suppression system maintenance, inspections, and installs. For more information about that service and to see a list of all of their available services, visit their website at industrialsafetystore.com. There we go. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing pretty well. And good morning, Jody. And everyone. And Renee, good morning to Renee. And Rick and Alicia Stelling. So when people do Rick and Alicia Stelling, I never know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to Rick or am I talking to Alicia? Or maybe both. You know what? Maybe that's it. That's a rule at the house. If we're going to be on and we're going to use both our names in it, we're both going to have to be. Maybe they're both watching. I don't know. So so we have a hard cutoff time today. I should point that out at 9 o'clock. What do you have going on at 9?
I have to do a radio show at 9, so it's the competition, I know.
Well, not really, but
actually, that's not about. It's about our. I'm on a board for our Rice Lake Hall of Fame, and I'm doing a thing for them. So I'm at my house today doing this show live because I live closer to the radio station, and I can be here longer with you because I only care about you.
What?
Until 9.
Until 9. And what a day to have a shorter show. We usually go like 45 minutes because, holy buckets, like Dryden Wire feels like Barron Wire right now.
Yeah.
In the last 24 hours.
Yeah. It was a busy weekend. Obviously, we had a lot of things. Why is there a different siren sound to a cop car? We have 3 different sounds we can make. So sometimes 4.
I like that. Boop, boop. Like that one. I like that.
It gets people's attention. That's why there's different sounds to different. Most ambulances and fire trucks have one sound. They can actually also change their sound. One is intersection. It gets people's attention. So all cop cars have different siren sounds to get people's attention. City, highway.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do: is do you have all 3 of those in your squad in your shift?
Yes.
So get your phone out or have someone do that and hit record and then do all 3 and then send those audio files to me and then we will have all 3 of those so we can play that next time.
Okay.
I don't know if you're gonna, but that'd be kind of fun. And I do have a couple of questions here from someone, but first, I know we have a lot to get to. We have a short amount of time to do it, but we can't skip over positive things going on in your life. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Didn't do a whole lot. Oh yeah, we had I helped at the youth hunt day, which is a youth day put on by a bunch of volunteers on Saturday during the morning, and we teach hunter safety. We teach how to shoot guns. They get to shoot bow and arrow, fishing, hunting, pheasant hunts, all free of charge, put on by the DNR, local law enforcement, and a bunch of volunteers.
Wow.
Jim and Susie Crotto allow us to use their land, and they have this huge event out there with over 100 kids came. It was just a great day to teach kids on how to get outside more, how to hunt, how to use a firearm, safety of firearms, a lot of different things. And there's a mixture of role models. We had CVT students, law enforcement students there, to law enforcement, to regular volunteers, teaching kids about safety of guns, how to shoot a gun, how to shoot a bow. If you've never shot one, you get to go out and try it.
Is there an age limit for this?
No, there isn't. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should come out and try it next year.
Yeah, maybe I
Next year
will.
we'll advertise
Well,
it.
maybe
Dryden
if the
will be.
sheriff down there and a friend of mine that I know down there would have let me know,
Yeah, that's
maybe I would have
right.
gone.
That's right. Next year you'll be a sponsor. It won't even cost you money.
Oh, very nice. I like those sponsorships.
Yeah, that's right. So next year we'll make it a big deal.
That is so cool.
How about you? What's new with you?
Now, see, you're doing all this cool stuff. I've just been
Yeah.
eating out a lot. Like the
Oh,
Sunday
well,
before last Sunday, with my daughter down in Bloomer, and then Thursday night, I met with Adam Jarko and his wife Barbara. Drew and I was kind of like I don't know if it's like a double date necessarily, but the four of us went out to the 5 o'clock club down in your county. So as soon as I hit your county, I just start speeding because
that's
what are they
right.
gonna do? Yeah, no kidding. I know the sheriff. Whatever. So and then Friday morning with my dad. It's been a while since the Dryden boys got together, and so we went out for breakfast. So I've been spending family time, which I'd rather do guns and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, so
Next
I
year.
have a couple of questions here, and we can get to these answers. It kind of ties into some, and
Okay.
these were sent yesterday. And one question is it illegal to take pictures with your phone within 500 feet of a car accident and or crash? Actually, let's ask that one now, and it will tie into what we're going to be getting to in a minute. But do you happen to know that one? The answer to that?
Yes and no. I mean, I had to look it up. I thought there was a new law that was passed in January. There was. It's for the driver to shoot. So if the passenger does it, it's not illegal. If the
Oh,
driver does it, it's made to pay attention because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to send that picture to Ben," and they hit it whether the driver. If you're the driver and you're within, I don't know if it's 500 feet. I'd have to look again, but there's a number. I think, and 500 might be the number. It is illegal, and you can be cited for that if you have your phone out as the driver.
so you could have
So,
like a camera and as the driver take a picture, but not
well,
if it's
yeah,
using
I
your
would guess
phone.
if it's not in your hand, I think you'd be okay.
But I mean, it's not the phone. So I feel like this is specific to a cell phone. I don't
No,
know.
it does it. I don't think it references a cell phone. It references something in your hand as the driver.
Mm.
So
Well, that makes
that
sense. So you could stop
right.
and get out of the car and take a picture, and that's okay.
Yep. Yep.
Interesting. And I'm going to hold off on the second question. So let's get
Okay.
through some press releases and articles. We'll start with the most recent. And again, these are all like in the last 24 hours.
Right.
And I put up a post last night. I saw on your sheriff's office page there was a crash, an vehicle versus a train
Hmm.
crash yesterday in Barron County near Cameron. I believe you put up something on your sheriff's office Facebook page saying that this is the Wisconsin State Patrol thing, not from us. I even had asked you, I'm like, is this going to be a press release or should I get information? And you even said State Patrol. That's it.
Right.
They sent out a release last night at a little after 7 o'clock, so I posted it. And the driver, Leighton Richard Givens from Sorona, it stated in this article that was charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of an intoxicant, first offense, causing injury. There were some non-life-threatening injuries there. But first, before I get into a couple of issues that I have with this release, actually, what can you tell us about that crash?
Sure. Yeah, we were alerted to it. We went to it. I was actually there also. Train versus car, just outside of Cameron, just off of Highway 8 on 23rd Street. Vehicle struck a train. And obviously, we could have handled it. The State Patrol was there. We talked to them. We'll help them. We helped them with the scene, and they wrote it. I mean, that's just doesn't matter who writes it. They were just there at the same time we were. So we shared that responsibility in that crash, and the Cameron Fire came out, LMC ambulance, and the Lifelink helicopter, and we extricated. And there was some good injuries. I don't think they were non-life threatening, but they were
Significant.
some pretty good injuries. Obviously, when you hit a train, obviously it's
The fact that
so
they walked away, and I believe,
right.
according to the information from the State Patrol, the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Now that was according to the State Patrol, so I assume
Yeah, and
that's
I
accurate.
don't know
So
that kind of details.
right, so if that is true, and you can walk away,
Right.
I'm just saying you don't often
Right.
see that.
Great day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's a good day.
Great day.
Yeah, I have a question on
Okay.
this, and first of all, we've talked about it before. So even in the news release from the State Patrol, it says that the driver was charged with We talked about that. Cops can't charge people. I wish State Patrol would stop saying charged. And I'm not banging on State Patrol. I'm just saying that's usually when I see it. And I don't know why. They must have a reason that they use that word. But, you can arrest them for something. Right? But you can't charge
it might
them.
be that they gave them a citation and they consider that charging them because technically, I suppose technically. So if they're giving them a piece of paper that says OWI first offense causing injury, here you go.
Hey, I never thought about that.
See,
all right.
That's why
that's what you're bringing, clarity to my understanding of how this works. Second thing is,
so I would guess that's why.
That probably makes more sense. A motor vehicle, so charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of an intoxicant. When you see intoxicant, what does that tell you? Are we talking drugs or are we talking alcohol?
It can be either. That's why it says that.
I wish should there be a separate one?
No, they're the same under the same law. It should be written. It's written the same way.
What I mean is, should there be two separate laws?
No.
Say it is what it is.
It is what it is. It doesn't matter what
you're impaired. You're impaired.
It's driving while under the influence of something that made you intoxicated.
What about prescription drugs?
Same thing.
It would still be listed under the influence of an intoxicant?
Correct.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
And some people use intoxicant, some people use influence, driving under the influence.
Sure.
I like the word influence. Intoxicant is probably how the law is written, but influence, driving under the influence of an intoxicant. You can stop at influence, but it's all the same. Drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs, legal drugs, because you can take legal drugs and get charged with an OWI. If you, if you're take whatever drug and it says do not drive and you drive and you swerve and hit somebody or a car or get pulled over for swerving, you can be charged with OWI even if it's legally prescribed to you.
Well, this ties into a second question.
Okay.
That there was a picture going around yesterday of a photo, and that was kind of a part of that first one as well. So that picture that was being shared on social media of this car, which tied in that first question I asked you about taking a picture of it, that had a picture of a license plate. So the second question that was asked of us to ask you, what are Fitzy's views of social media sharing information about an incident before law enforcement releases information, including photos of crashes that show license plates?
Well, it can be dangerous. It's the idea that a lot of people are on social media. It might be someone's car. And if that was a fatality accident and that picture gets posted and it happens to be my car and I know my kid or my wife was driving it and we haven't even determined who was in the car yet, it creates panic for people. It can create some pretty bad panic. That's
and
not
potentially
the way
misinformation being shared.
It could be misinformation. It could be maybe I borrowed my car. Maybe, a technician from a body shop was driving it and it crashed. And so, a lot of things can happen and a lot of panic can be created by putting out there. There was media outlets that learned about that crash yesterday before we even were there. So
before you're on scene.
Yes. It's this Barron, the Barron County scanner, the Washburn County scanner. They're putting Facebook posts out right when stuff gets paged over the radio, and we're not even there yet. And people are going out of their houses and going to these scenes, and it just can't happen. We just can't have this information getting out there. So we have to write press releases sometimes on scene to release it because media had it. Media was pulled up. I wasn't the first one to go to this call. I was doing a couple of things, and then it got to be it was more serious, so they let me know about it. And by the time I pulled up there was a media outlet on scene.
Bizarre.
And so it's getting to be where we have to release these press releases very shortly afterwards because it's already all out there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about two more here very shortly that are way more serious, that if somebody finds out about this before we do, or before we can get to the house and let people know that people passed away, that's a sucky way to find out. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
And so people need to be careful when they're posting stuff. That's all I got to say about it. And if we can cite you for doing it, we will cite you. But obviously if you're the passenger, it's legal to do. It's your right to do. But realize that you're affecting people's lives in a negative way.
Yeah, and maybe there isn't necessarily anything wrong with taking pictures or texting a friend or something like that.
Right.
But I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves that just because we could doesn't mean we should.
Right.
Think about the other parties that are involved. Hey, there you go. So that number, 715-520-2271, that's Brian right there. There you go. Just call him right now. I mean, after
Just
the
call
show, I
and
mean.
say hi.
So we do have a hard cutoff time at 9 o'clock, so I want to get to these next two things. And this was a press release from you. Our headline was motorcycle driver dies after hitting deer, striking a tree. As a 72-year-old man from Glenwood City, Wisconsin. Where's Glenwood City?
Over by
St. Croix Falls? Or St. Croix County?
St. Croix County, yes. St. Croix County helped us with that one.
Well, was discovered deceased after authorities responded to a call of a motorcycle crash. This was from last Friday.
Yes, Friday afternoon, a motorcyclist was driving on K, which is by Reeve, just out of Dunn County, like not even a quarter mile outside of Dunn County. A deer ran out. He struck the deer, lost control of his motorcycle, and it didn't go down. He kept upright, and then went into the ditch, hit a culvert, and then went into the air and hit a tree. So it was a very tragic accident. Started with a deer hit, and it ended, with a fatality crash, which was our first fatality in the county on a county road. There was one in the city Rice Lake, but that was our first fatality of the year, Friday afternoon. So we were 10 months into the year without a fatality, which is really, really good.
That's nice. I mean, one is too many, but last year there was a string of them.
Yeah, I think we had 8 last year. But the night got worse as we went. So,
well, certainly our everyone says our thoughts and our prayers, and the reality is I didn't actually pray for this person's family, and I probably will after the show. Now that I'm saying it out loud, so my thoughts are certainly with the family, and I will say a prayer for the family when we're finished the show. I probably should have done that before, but there's no good age to die in an accident. It's 17. That's tragic. This was a 72-year-old. Hopefully that man lived a good life and a great life, and his kids are all growing up and out. But still, taken away from your family, that's just, and is there any real takeaway here? Is it don't drive motorcycles, or, hey, look out for deer? I'm sure he's looking out for deer. Sometimes, that's called an accident for a reason.
Right. This is truly an accident, and he did all he could to keep his bike upright. And that I don't ride motorcycle. I have a moped, and I don't know.
That doesn't surprise me. Of a moped. You also have like electric lawnmowers, right?
Yeah. Right.
You're going to be driving the Barron County Sheriff's Department. Isn't it about budget cycle about now, right? Isn't it that time in the county?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I start seeing line items for, Priuses and, to replace all of your.
We did look at electric pickup trucks, but there's a new thing out there, these e-bikes out there, and you can now ride them in county forests, and you can use them to hunt. And so, I used to be a bicycle cop in the
Really?
Rice Lake. I started the bicycle cop unit.
I didn't know they had one. They still have one?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody still does it, but they still have 2 bikes.
Where do you just
bike
around
cop.
town? And
yeah.
How do you chase anybody? I mean, pedestrians okay, but you can't chase a car.
No, you can stop people. It's got red and blue lights, had a siren on it.
What?
Different.
Please tell me there's a photo of you on your bike with your lights on.
Oh, I used to have trading cards. I'll find a trading card and get you one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, so then so these are some things that happened literally just yesterday in Barron County. You also sent out another press release. Our headline was 30-year-old discovered deceased after authorities respond to report of a truck in a lake. 30-year-old man from Exlin, Wisconsin was found deceased after authorities responded to a call of a truck in the water on Friday. What can you tell us about that?
So on Friday night about 8:30, we received a call about a truck in the water. With someone yelling for help. When we arrived on scene with Birchwood Fire, no one could be located, or the truck couldn't be located in the water. They commandeered a boat. Somebody out there said, I have a boat. They got a boat, and they went out in the water, located the truck, couldn't locate a person. We called the Chetek dive team in. Chetek Fire Department has a dive team. They came out and found the driver in the water, deceased. He was a 30-year-old male from Exland. He went through a stop sign, continued down this boat landing, which is straight off this Highway V, just outside of McCona, and into the water, and where he ultimately got out of his truck. But I don't know if it was the cold temperature of the water, if he was injured. I don't know anything about why he couldn't get to shore, because he was only about 20 yards offshore. But it was also dark out, so I don't know if his bearings, if he knew which way to swim towards shore even.
Right.
It was very dark out. So it was tragic. I believe there's going to be some factors into this crash. Maybe alcohol may be a factor. We're working on that. So that's another tragedy of a person, but it doesn't matter why. We're
Still loss
just
of life, man.
it's a sad thing. It was just a tough one, and it's tough when they're younger. It's obviously a little easier when they're 72.
I know, and
But
that sounds horrible, right? But like,
I
if my
know.
dad's 74, he almost died. If it wasn't for
Right.
Dave Wilson saving his life, literally saving his life, and he was having his heart attack 2 years ago, he would have been 72. Dad lived a
Right.
good life.
Right.
Now, if Dad was, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it would have been. Yeah, there's no really nice way of saying that, and I don't know. Maybe we should just kind of skip that part. But yeah, 30 years old, and it's really. So we do our obituaries, of course, every day. We update all of our obituaries and post those. And I saw the obituary, and we had published that, I think, yesterday. When you see the face, now you guys see that differently. We can look at an obituary and see the picture, and we see, a picture of, a person usually at their best, right?
Right.
Big smile, whatever. But you see that, and then when you can put a face to the situation, it just drives me crazy. Because 30-year-olds, I can't believe I'm saying it, I'm so old now. I feel like, because it's just a kid, just a
I know.
kid.
I agree with that. I mean, 30 years old, and they're like, man, that was 20 years ago for me almost. So, yeah, it was a long, tough weekend on our crew. It was nice. I had a couple of people reach out and say, if you guys need something, let us know. It is tough. Luckily, it was two different crews, but yeah,
Sure.
Tracy Hom, that was that
Yeah.
tragedy for former Captain Hom. I was Tracy's partner for years. He passed away very suddenly from some cancer-related issues. We just found out about it last Thursday, and he died on Sunday. And our thoughts and prayers are with the Hom family, all of them, and our brothers and sisters at the Rice Lake Police Department. I mean, he worked there for
Yeah.
32 years and did a lot for this community, and that sucks. And yeah, it was just we haven't had a busy weekend like that of press releases. Usually they're
Well, usually if you send out a
not this
press
tragic.
release, I mean, there's like two kinds of press releases. There's the tragedy, deaths, things like you have sent out. And then there's the press release that I look at good press releases. Not that press releases are good or bad, but I mean more of okay. And that is, we just busted this, and we just got this off the street, and this person was arrested. We found,
Right.
Marijuana. Got to get that off the street. No, but I like those. So
Yeah,
I have no
and
problem. You can send those out every day. And it's
I'm hoping to
fantastic.
write another one. I was at a search warrant this morning already. We did a search warrant for internet crimes against children, and hopefully we'll have a press release on that. Like that, those are the press releases I
No,
don't mind writing at all.
writing. I don't mind posting them. I'm like, yeah, all right. Anything against kids, which leads me into, we only have a few minutes left because we have to shut it down here at 9, so you can get to something more important than being on with all of us, apparently. And that is so I have a headline here. This was an insider article, but I put this up yesterday. 46-year-old man charged with sexual assault, intimidation of victim. But here's where I want to tie this in.
Okay.
You actually did a press release about this person. His name is, I don't know, Jamek Tollfree.
Yep.
And this was in May of 2018. You had originally done a press release, and we did a story on it back then.
Right.
And back then it was the sheriff's office took Jamek Tollfree into custody for giving marijuana to a 13-year-old girl and exposing the same girl to harmful sexually explicit material via text messages. Skipping, he was eventually sentenced on reduced charges, and he got 2 years of probation.
Right.
You and I have talked often about crimes against kids or exposing things to kids. That's I don't know. I want to see a lot more. And now we're not even talking about bonds.
Yeah.
But sentences, you get some probation. Whatever. Skipping, now he has been charged again. of charged with sexual assault and intimidation of a victim. And he just recently appeared for a bail bond hearing, and he got a $2,500 signature bond, which that's stupid, but whatever. No, that's just dumb. That's absolutely. He's already proven he's done it. He's already said that he's, I'll kill people and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a kind of tying into our show last week as well. But yeah, when it comes to kids, man, I don't like seeing that stuff. And I wanted to talk more about this specific case, but I don't want to spend too much time on it now since we only have a few minutes left. But did you see that article? And if so, what were your thoughts?
Well, I did not see the article. I think I remember something coming across the desk. So, but yeah, it's wrong. If you go to prison once, you shouldn't get a second chance. There's an article out there about a guy that killed a person here in Barron County for drunk driving, and then got sentenced to an OWI in Eau Claire County, like OWI 5th, and he just got a year in prison. He's already been in prison multiple, years for this, and so, I don't know. We've got some press releases. I just sent one out this morning about a homeless sex offender. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I just put it up. That's why I was hurrying because you sent it right before the show. I'm like, don't send press releases right when I'm getting ready for the show. Which, whatever. Right. And we'd actually done, and I put those in the 2 links, because we've actually done the story. We did 2 full stories on this individual who's going to be released. And again, we'll talk about it next week because he's going to be released next week, and hopefully there'll be an update and he won't be homeless. But we'll find out, tune in next week, folks. And we're going to find out. So I didn't even get a chance to go back through to read those articles from before, what he was sentenced for. I can't remember what they were.
Well, that'll draw some attention, I think. It's not ours. It's a state law that says they can be released homeless. It has nothing to do with the police department, so don't take it out on us. We just are letting people know.
I know. And if I remember, I thought that person was from, was it Minnesota?
No, it was in St. Clair County. I think it was somewhere. Yeah, and so, but you have to get released to the county where you did the crime, which I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot we can talk about. There's a lot for next week on sex offenders we'll talk about. Yeah. Sounds great. Look forward to that.
So set your alarms, folks.
Set your alarms for sex offenders next week.
Sex offender. Oh, my goodness.
Well, and I hopefully we'll have Internet Crimes Against Children press release. Hopefully nothing else bad happens. Yeah. And we'll go from there.
It's interesting. We do about a 45-minute long show. We usually go 8:30 to 9:15. Now we're going to be doing just for today, wrapping up at 9 so you can do a radio show. But it feels incredibly hurried. Yeah. So I can't wait to go back and watch it. But it's been a half an hour. Like, what did we do for those last 15 minutes? Maybe we should always do half an hour. Just hurry up and get through things. I feel like it's just not enough time. Well, it also, we don't have this many things to discuss regarding, we usually touch on a couple of press releases and then get on to a bigger topic.
Or we haven't had press releases. I haven't sent a press release for a long time, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. I mean, this will be 4th press release in 24 hours I've sent out to the media. So it's crazy.
It is. All right. So you have a radio. If anyone wants to listen, is this a recorded show today, or are you going to be live on the radio?
On the AM side of WJMC. So you can listen to my friend Dave Dushek, Packer Dave, and myself. We're going to be talking about the Rice Lake Hall of Fame. We inducted 4 new members to the Rice Lake Hall of Fame, and so you can watch AM 1240 WJMC. I don't know how they say it, but I'm going to be a radio disc jockey someday. So.
WJMC.
I got to come up with a cool nickname, though.
Wait, so I don't have a radio. What was it called? WJMC. I'm sure they have it. Like, you can stream it online.
I think they have it streamed, yes.
And what time does your show start?
9:05.
9:05. So I'm going to literally tune in and listen. And you need to. We're all going to be tuning in and listening, and see if you give a shout out for our show. Like, I was busy on the.
Sorry, I'm
Positive Tuesday. Positive. I'm going to be listening, and hopefully everyone else do that as well.
I think we did this last year at the exact same time. I think I snuck one in.
I remember listening to it because I remember. Oh, that's right. Because I was texting you during the whole thing to try, because I know you have your watch and getting notified. So I was just texting you a whole bunch of things to keep you distracted. Yes. So if you have Fitzy's number at 9:05, you may want to send him something. All right. Well, and I have. Good morning, Molly. I have this Thursday. I don't know. I have some guests coming up. I think I wrote down my exit speech here, so we'll just get to it. Fitzy, Thanks so much for being on, and
I appreciate
doing it from home, and yeah, you're the man.
Thanks. Sorry for the short trip.
No, that's perfectly fine. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden. You've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. Oh, shoot. Did you see Brian had said something in here? There it is.
Get shirts, he said.
Yeah, buddy. Presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. So give them a call today. I'm trying to hurry up for you, 715-520-2271. I'll see everyone this Thursday when I'll be chatting with the Democratic nominee in Wisconsin's 73rd Assembly District, Laura Gapsky, and again on Friday when Republican nominee for Wisconsin's either Secretary of State or State Treasurer, I can't remember which, Amy Loudenbeck will be on to discuss her campaign and telling us which campaign she's running for, because I can't remember. And of course, Fitzy and I will be back next Tuesday for a full show. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.